Amy Schumer is addressing the speculation surrounding her marriage to Chris Fischer with a level of honesty, exhaustion, and emotional transparency that has turned the entire entertainment world's attention toward her. For weeks, whispers about a possible separation have been growing louder, triggered by everything from ringless public appearances to quiet social media cleanouts to resurfaced old interviews that paint a complex picture of a marriage navigating pressure from every direction. And now, Amy herself has stepped forward to speak, not in a polished press statement, but in her own unfiltered voice, sharing the truth as she experiences it, not as tabloids spin it. She begins by confronting the most visible spark of the speculation, the missing wedding ring. Fans noticed it immediately. Recent photos showed Amy out and about, smiling but noticeably barehanded. For some celebrities, going without a ring is no big deal, but for Amy, at a time when conversations about her marriage were already surfacing, the detail instantly went viral. What she clarified, though, is deceptively simple. She rarely wears jewelry, and the missing ring is not a coded message or a public cry for help. But the fact that she felt compelled to address such a small detail reveals how tightly her personal life has been scrutinized these past few months. But what truly shook fans was the deeply vulnerable note she shared about her relationship. She spoke openly about the possibility that her marriage may or may not survive the pressures they are facing. She didn't sugarcoat it. She didn't pretend. Instead, she acknowledged that marriage, even the ones that look charming and comedic and Instagram-ready, can be difficult, layered, unpredictable. She expressed hope, genuine hope, that she and Chris will make it through whatever season they are in, and she reaffirmed her admiration for him, calling him the best, a sentiment that only underscores the emotional weight behind her uncertainty. It wasn't a declaration of divorce, and it wasn't a declaration of happily ever after. It was something much more real. Two people navigating a complicated moment and trying to find their way as honestly as possible. At the same time, Amy's health journey has cast a massive shadow over her year and has played a significant role in public assumptions about her marriage. She has spoken candidly about her diagnosis of Cushing's syndrome, a serious condition that earlier caused noticeable swelling and weight gain. The speculation around her appearance was relentless. Strangers accused her of cosmetic procedures, mocked her changing face, and crafted theories about her marriage based purely on her looks. The cruelty pushed her to clarify the truth. She was battling a dangerous medical condition, one that could have killed her. She shared that she lost 50 pounds, not out of vanity, but out of necessity, emphasizing that her recovery has been life-changing. She feels healthier, she feels mobile, she feels present in her own body again. She even mentioned being able to play tag with her son, a moment that felt symbolic, a mother returning to herself after months of feeling trapped in a body that wasn't cooperating. Amy also addressed ongoing gossip about cosmetic work, denying current use of Botox or fillers, but openly acknowledging previous procedures. She refuses to hide the reality of her wellness routine, including the use of medications that have supported her recovery. What resonates most is that she is not interested in performing perfection for her audience. Her journey has been painful, frightening, and deeply personal, and she is choosing transparency over silence. However, complicating matters further is a resurfaced interview clip from a few years ago where Amy joked about intimacy struggles in her marriage. At the time, it was typical Schumer humor, self-deprecating, awkward, and delivered with a smirk. But now, in the context of current rumors, fans are re-examining every word. In the clip, she joked that intimacy with her husband sometimes felt strange because, in her words, "that's my family," and she admitted that scheduled intimacy was part of their routine. At the time, people laughed. Now, with rumors swirling, the comment has transformed into a kind of evidence, a puzzle piece that suddenly feels darker and heavier than before. These resurfaced comments, paired with online sleuths pointing out that Amy has quietly deleted older posts, including several featuring Chris, created a perfect storm. The internet loves narrative, and it loves closure even more. And without clear answers, people start to fill in the gaps with their own theories. Some have gone as far as suggesting an official separation has already occurred, citing anonymous tips, whispers of living apart, and speculation around what Amy chooses to share or not share online. But despite all the noise, despite the speculation dressed up as certainty, Amy's own message remains the most grounded. She and Chris are working through what long-term couples work through. They're not confirming a split, nor are they pretending everything is flawless. They're doing what real couples do behind closed doors. Except in their case, the entire world is watching the cracks in the doorframe. Amy's vulnerability in her recent statements highlights something larger. Celebrity marriages exist under an inhuman amount of pressure. Every laugh, every frown, every ring, every deleted photo becomes a headline. For someone like Amy, whose career is built on honesty and humor, that pressure can feel even more intense. She has always been comfortable revealing the messy parts of life, her pregnancy struggles, her health battles, her insecurities. But sharing the messy parts of a marriage comes with higher stakes. There are two people involved, a child, a family, and a love that has weathered both fame and illness. And through all of this, Chris Fischer has remained largely silent in public, consistent with the low-profile personality he has always kept. He is a chef, a writer, a farmer, a man who never sought the spotlight that came with marrying Amy Schumer. His autism diagnosis, which Amy has discussed lovingly and respectfully in the past, has also become a cruel talking point online. People have irresponsibly speculated about how his neurodivergence affects their marriage, prompting Amy to clarify that any outcome in their relationship has nothing to do with autism, shutting down the offensive narrative with sharp clarity. What's striking is that Amy is not in damage control mode. She is not attempting to restore a pristine public image or craft a perfect fairy tale. Instead, she is acknowledging the complexities of love, illness, family, fame, aging, pressure, and the human struggle to hold everything together when life becomes overwhelming. She is confronting gossip not with denial, but with nuanced truth. As weeks go on, fans continue to watch her online activity for clues. New posts, missing photos, updates about her health, hints about Chris, moments with her son Gene. Amy's following has always been deeply invested in her life because she lets them in more than most celebrities. And now, even as she walks through one of her most delicate chapters, she continues to share pieces of her story in a way that feels raw, imperfect, relatable, and deeply human. Whether Amy and Chris ultimately stay together or eventually part ways, what she is offering right now is something rare. Honesty without dramatics, vulnerability without pity, and clarity without cruelty. She is navigating this moment publicly, but not performatively, and that alone has reshaped the conversation, shifting it away from sensationalism and toward empathy. As her journey continues to unfold, one thing remains clear. Amy Schumer will address her life on her own terms, in her own voice, and in her own time. And whatever the future holds for her marriage, she is facing it with courage, candor, and an unwavering commitment to the truth. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.